Two races are done for the first day of the final round of the NZ Central Muscle Cars, and it's been, well, up and down because you had a normal scratch race and then you have a handicap race, so people go all over the place. Paul Bowden further down the field in the morning race, now further up the field ahead of Holland, so really you two are chasing each other.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of our format, scratch race, handicap race, so that's the way it works. Gives everybody a fair crack, and I just happen to come in ahead of him, so yeah.
Well, it's valuable points, but in your head, have you calculated, is it enough to start scratching at him tomorrow?
No, not quite. Bruce Kett, yes, but potentially, but not Mark Holland, unfortunately for me. Good for Mark, not so good for me, so yeah.
And Mark Holland will be exactly like Paul Bowden. It's a chop and change for the points, and you'll still be leading.
Yeah, it was a good race, eh? I bloody enjoyed that. It was busy, like that first corner off the start, got a good start, it was seriously busy. A couple of wide Monaros, those two boys sort of fighting amongst themselves, but yeah, I had an eye out for Paul, but yes, I think he's finished about 4 seconds in front of me, but it was a bloody good race, man. Shit, it was enjoyable. And, put new tyres on the back, different machine, mate. I think, before last race it was sliding around, and now we had a friggin' blast.
So what does that do for your mindset tomorrow?
Look, reverse grid in the morning, you always say you're going to take it a bit easier, but you can't really. You put the helmet on and you just go, so it's got to be smart. The boys out there, where I am, is pretty clean, but to be honest, the reverse grid tomorrow won't go as hard as, because really don't have to, but you say that now, you don't, mate. So, you know what? That's a pressure question, so do you prick?
Well, he's madly working at the moment. Angus Fogg, 2 races. Interesting result for first one compared to the second one here.
Yeah, hey, the first one, the car was really good. We had new back tyres on and we had all 4 gears, and away we went. Coming sort of lap 2 or 3, it just took off like a jet. That race, it was still okay, but there's obviously a lot of traffic, and we chipped the tooth off first gear, so I wasn't using first gear. But we got through pretty good, clean, and then just on the last up there having a battle with Oni, and just outbraked himself a little bit and went through the grass. And the mighty black tongue licked the earth and ripped it out. So that's right, we've got another one in the truck, and that's the least of our worries. So.
What are you going to do about the gearbox?
We just run it with no first gear. It'll be a bit doughy off the start, but we haven't got any parts to repair it here, so next year we'll have a full spares package, have another crack at it. And the trick is to be reliable. You've got to be absolutely reliable, and if you're not reliable, you've got to have the stuff to get you going again. The car's still relatively new, and we're still kind of learning it. But you have to say that in the dry, when the tyres are good and everything's kind of going our way, things are a bit of a jet. So pretty happy with that. And we're just going to have a beer now, put the other spoiler on, and we're ready to go for the morning.
All right, Grant, 2 races today, a 6th and a 3rd. That's good for the points. Keeps you ahead of Foggy, I think.
Yeah, well, he's gained a few, but we hopefully starting to run out of runway. And I just had my head down that time. I was happy with that. I wasn't so happy with the first race, but I was happy with that drive. And Dino's sort of just holding station because he knows that he doesn't have to do much. So he's driving really smart.
Tomorrow, a handicap and then a final scratch race. It'll be the same scenario as today, won't it? You just got to play it smart.
Well, yeah, Foggy's faster. A lot faster. He's the fastest at the moment by quite a bit, and he's driving really sensibly. So I've just got to do put my foot down and brake at the right time and not have a complete rush of blood to the head. Hopefully the car will be strong, which it will. It was great today. The car was great, handling nicely, and it's a neat track.
10th place in the first race, a 2nd place in that race. That's better for the points haul.
Yeah, tell me about it. I've been waiting for that for a long time. I waited, qualified poorly this morning, just couldn't get the car to handle, but no complaints, not going to blame it, just blame the driver, that's me. And time to get the island brain into action.
So tomorrow, 2 races, last 2 of the season. What's your tactics? Can you share any ideas on what you're thinking you're going to do?
Yeah, sure. Like I think the first race in the morning, I'm just going to kill it, and then I think in the last race, the scratch race, going to do what all good South Aucklanders do, and that's a big burnout.
Right, and so results are basically irrelevant?
Oh, look, unless something happens to Angus or Grant Dalton, you know, like someone accidentally hits him, like maybe Greg on or something like that. Yeah, I think like, their positions are pretty safe. But hey, you never know. We've got some little engine ticklers at the moment, but I won't tell you too much about that until we actually know for sure. But fingers crossed, and toes, and eyes.
Well, Mr. Perkins, I think you were true to your word. 2 fifth places in 2 races. That's conservative, smart, consistent points accumulation.
Yeah, look, we're staying out of trouble. The car's keeping going. We've got some new brakes for tomorrow, and we haven't used any new tyres yet, which is unusual for us. So with a little luck, we should have a really good day tomorrow.
That's interesting because a lot of the competitors are talking about how slippery it's been and they've done some tyres, but you haven't yet.
That's the slipperiest I reckon I've seen it here, and I've never run an old set of tyres for so long. So we were pretty happy with those results.
Why the new brakes?
We had rotor trouble this morning, so we broke some rotors. So luckily Ian Pledge's wife was kind enough to bring some down, and my son-in-law brought them to Hamilton, and they got here, so we're fitting them now. So a good team effort.
That is pretty good because that just keeps this consistency going for you for the 2 races tomorrow.
Yeah, look, tomorrow's morning's race, we've just got to finish, and then we can really have some fun. Look out for the tyres, mate.
Okay, well, Steve, that's what you wanted. You've gone out, clocked in some more points. It's basically done and dusted for your season. You should be a Group 1B champ by now.
Yes, I believe so, but we've still got 2 races to go, so I've still got a lot of fun to have yet.
One assumes that at that final race tomorrow there'll be very little rubber left on the tyres when you come back in then.
Oh, that's the idea, yeah. Yeah, we'll start everything new next year, hopefully, so we might as well burn this lot off.
A lot of people have been talking about how difficult this track's been this weekend so far. It's been slippery. Have you found that?
Yeah, most definitely. And I missed the start of the first race, but from practice to that race then, which is race 2, I changed tyres from old to new, and it's still slippery. Still a really slippery track.
Well, how do you combat that? Hit and hope?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, just keep steering it around the corners.